welcome along into the Sporty Show, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, I am smiling from ear to ear because Spain are going to the semi-finals. They will be taking on France. I'm Sara and as always, I'm joined with the one and only, with new glasses, Klinton Cod.
Did you have to mention the glasses? By the way, these glasses, I borrowed it this morning from our set producer, Ben. Ben, they look good, you know. I might not be returning it.
You have the link?
Right, he has the link. No, it looks good, actually. I love it. Yeah, today's a beautiful day the Lord has made, and I am not happy that Sara is happy because of Spain. Yes, you know, when Spain... Actually, I would like Spain and England to not win their next matches, just so I see what happens in the studio between Sara and Alex. I would love here to be slightly quiet. I want my voice to be the loudest, you know.
It is the loudest. There's no competition.
I don't have to worry about that one.
No, I mean, the fact is tonight, 100%, there's a probability that, yeah, Alex might be going quiet. Who knows for the next couple of days. But let's see. But yeah, it's good to be here. I mean, we've introduced myself. Let's talk about Alex now, as usual. Should we? I mean, today is for England, right? Let's give him that normal welcome. And ladies and gentlemen, in the studio right here with us for the Sporty Show is the one and only Alex Ashmore.
Bow tie again. I'm hoping that it will bring Gareth Southgate a little bit of extra luck. Because we need all we can after that Slovakia performance. But I'm blind faith. I'm confident.
We also have the one and only Robert, a.k.a. Miracle, back with us all the way from Bilbao.
Woo!
Thank you for having me again.
Not as happy today, maybe the Ronaldo fan in the corner.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I understand. At the end of the day, you got to understand that anything that's got to do with Cristiano Ronaldo currently, it comes with sadness. You know, there's that aura of everywhere is quiet. You know, there's no happiness. Don't worry, Miracle, I understand. It happens. So let's hope for the future. I mean, like I said, Ronaldo still has he has hope. There's time. I mean, he said he's still going to play for a couple of, who knows, to play with his son. So let's hope he would make you proud at that time, brother. Yeah, there's still time to smile.
All right, guys, make sure you follow SportyTV on all of our socials, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, all of it, because we are here every single match day. Sporty Live will be coming back next week as well. We have the semi-finals kicking off. We have the final quarterfinals tonight. There is so much good football, so come with us on the journey. If I'm correct, I believe we have a special guest as well. Is Gary in the building here?
In the building!
Gary, it's been so long. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Doing well, thank you. Doing well, thank you.
Gary, you're looking like you went into Ghanaian politics and you've been smuggling. You've been taking cash. You know, the normal African stuff. Like within a week of no see. Has it been after a week since we saw Gary on the show?
I can't remember the last time I saw Gary myself.
You know, nah, Gary, please, whatever it is that you do to make you look this fresh, please, I need that ASAP. If it's politics, I'm happy. I don't know if you did any kind of ritual, whatever it is. I mean, I'm not going to kill anybody, but whatever, anything, just link me up, man. No, but look at Gary.
How are you guys, man? How are you guys? I mean,
Gary, I'm thriving.
Yeah.
I'm thriving.
Yeah,
I've never been better.
Fantastic. I mean, your smiles... You know, I know the reason Klinton is smiling is not because Spain have advanced, but because somebody in that match did not advance. No, not that match. In the next match, did not advance. In the second match, did not advance. But I'm sure we'll come to that shortly.
We are getting there, brother.
We are getting there. But first, let's actually talk about what you did yesterday, because you had a bit of fun on the streets, didn't you, of Madrid?
Oh, yes. So yesterday, I went to have fun with the fans in España. You know, I'm trying to say it in Spanish. Wait. And soy o estoy o voy, me went to Dola, enjoy. I mean, you could see on the screen, it was a very beautiful day. We had, we actually interviewed a couple of them before the game, after the game, but the full clip is probably going to come on social media eventually. But this just, the pub, I went to watch it, and it was very very entertaining. The people there were literally very happy. I mean, there was some serious nerves going on when it felt like the win was not going to come the Spanish way, but you know, the happiness eventually was just next level. But you know, we'll get into the video on social media eventually.
I love that. I love when you're out with the fans. I feel like you have a great time with them. No,
I mean, it's one of the best things, trust me. You know, when you listen to how, especially the drunk ones, those are the ones I really loved interviewing because, you know, when a few alcohol goes into your system, that's when you tend to kind of like bring out the personality in you. And I was seeing all these Espana chicas, you know, everyone was just screaming and saying all sorts of stuff in Spanish. And I just knew they were just cheering for their country. And it just felt very amazing being on the street there and joining the happiness, really. So, yeah, and it was very good.
Brilliant.
Very good.
I'm so happy to see it. All right, let's check out what's happening on today's show.
We start off today's show by looking back at yesterday's games, as Spain and France go through to the semis, whilst Ronaldo leaves the competition without scoring a single goal. We then move on to England's game against Switzerland, as it's been confirmed that Jude Bellingham is available to play. And we also preview the Netherlands game versus Turkey, with both teams looking to qualify for the semi-finals.
The shade from our producer, Ben, in that one. I mean, I couldn't even help but laughing. Yes, let's start with France and Portugal. Arguably one of the worst games in this Euros. My goodness, was that a snooze fest. And they carried it out into extra time and then, of course, penalties. My feelings are really with João Felix at the moment because I think he is so unlucky. And after Barcelona announced that they will not be keeping him, the club that he wanted to join, his boyhood dreams are crushed, and then he happens to hit the post in the penalties. A very bad week for João Felix. I do feel for him.
I mean, it was even the confidence that he went to take that penalty with. First of all, I was happy with the confidence. You could clearly tell that man was, you know, he already scored a goal in his head, right? Mm-hmm. And that's my problem. You see, most times, that kind of confidence is not what... Overconfidence is not very good. Right? And sorry, I'm going to bash Lionel Messi for the first time. I think that's exactly why he missed the penalty.
Alex is about to drop.
Wow. Fact.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Today's a good day. Today's a very good day.
At the end of the day, this is me giving my Ronaldo fans something to speak about, right? I'm feeding you guys. I'm giving you breakfast to feed on. This is what we Messi fans do. No, I mean, sometimes just make them happy. For the first time, when was the last time you saw Alex smile like this? When was the last time you saw Miracle? Yesterday, you were squeezing their face. Now I've just said one thing about Lionel Messi, to make them happy, look at them feeling like they've just given birth to their first set of children in their life. Like, no, but fact is, sometimes overconfidence isn't the best. João Felix picked up the ball. I could clearly tell that a few things was going through his head. I mean, if you've done I've not done psychology, but by nature, I can read people when, I don't know if it happens to you, when people go to the penalty spots, you could, somehow you could tell that this person is going to miss it, right? Maybe it's just the body composure. It's probably something about how they've picked the ball. It might be how they've dropped the ball and they've maybe walked back to. You could tell that it's either they are overconfident, or they are just normal, or they are scared, right? It's just somewhere in between. And most times, even the way the keeper looks at you could even play some kind of trick in your head. Somebody that does it a lot is Martinez for Argentina. If I was playing against that guy, trust me, he might make me play the ball to him and be like, yo, you know what, just take the ball, man. Before João Felix took the penalty yesterday, for some reason, I knew he was going to miss it. And it costed the GOATs the ability to move forward in life, which...
You do get those feelings, I think, when a player steps up to take a spot kick. Obviously, it's completely 50-50. No matter how good you are at penalties, the goalkeeper could get a little bit of luck. You could, the ball could bobble a little bit before you take the shot. A whole number of elements could come into play, and you get that feeling with João Felix. I feel like, he's obviously a brilliant player, but I feel like when it comes to those big moments, if you haven't had the experience, sometimes the nerves can get the better of you.
Yeah, no, 100%. Miracle, when João Felix went for that penalty, at that point, what was going through your head? Did you think that did you see him as part of the people that you would have missed?
Not really. I don't think he should have taken it. I was given like a false sense of security. Like, as you said, he just found out like Barcelona and keeping him, that would probably like play something in it. And he probably needed that goal more than anyone.
Absolutely, 100%.
And that just made him just...
Yeah.
Gary, let's talk about this match, though, because in what should have maybe been, if you asked me 3 weeks ago, the match of the tournament turned out to be so poor. Portugal, you know, really, both teams, in fact, actually really struggling to score here. And we see Mbappe getting subbed off. What's your takeaway from this? Why were neither of these teams, with the squads they have, with the players that both of these two teams have, yet we saw nothing again?
I think, first of all, I think everybody knew that we were going to have a day of two different kinds of games. And any serious fan who had to choose between Spain versus Germany and Portugal versus France, if you had something serious to do and had to absolutely choose one game, you were definitely going to watch Spain versus Germany because Portugal and France, let's begin with France. For the last 5 years, they've given us the idea the coach has played exactly in that way, that no matter how exciting, and we've said this for the last 3 weeks or so, you know, in the build-up to the France matches, in the build-up to the tournaments, that Didier Deschamps' call card is based. I'm sure if he had a call card, it will say, "My name is Didier Deschamps. I win tournaments." That's what it says. It does not say, "I'm going to give you good football." It's going to say, "I'm going to win the tournament for you." So that is it. I mean, and so that's France. On the Portuguese side, I think they have also given us a sense of what to expect so far. Throughout their group stage matches, they were not spectacular, or as spectacular, more accurately, as the talented team suggested that they should. And so I think we all knew that we were not going to get a blockbuster. Even if Portugal came out 100% to be attacking, to be exciting, it was definitely the case that we should have, or we would have, and we did expect that France will not match that energy because they came in to play counter-attacking football, if you like, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I wasn't too surprised, but I was surprised at just how bad the game was. It was like Spain and Germany had taken you to the summit, and Portugal and France just dropped you. Like, it was so disappointing because Spain, Germany it had almost everything. When we say a football match has everything, then we usually include the fact that they probably had a red card as well, you know, just to keep the excitement going. But they didn't have that. So I was not too surprised, but yeah, I was quite disappointed at just how much the two teams were not willing to give us end-to-end football in 120 minutes as it turned out. I'm sure we'll go into the details of the match, but Roberto Martinez continues to disappoint me. You know, if there's a coach who let me choose my words so that I've tried to rehearse it a couple of times. He's a coach who falls down upwards and takes appointments bigger than him upwards when he fails. So he's rewarded for failure all the time. Otherwise, he wouldn't be managing the Portuguese national team, you know, after mismanaging a golden generation of Belgian teams. What's he going to get next? The Brazilian national team? The English national team?
Gary?
Yeah.
Gary,
Yeah.
I mean, I think if there's anything anybody would pray for in life currently is to get paid for fail. I mean, it's easy to fail, right? And imagine you're getting paid to fail. Yo, I mean, no, when you actually think deep into that stuff, bro.
It'd be quite demoralising after a while, though, wouldn't it?
No, I don't care. Like, the most important thing is how much, like I said, it takes a lot to not fail, right? But to fail is one of the easiest. But now imagine getting paid to fail, though.
On a stage like that, though, I think you, at some point, and I understand Roberto Martinez, he has the qualities, he's a brilliant manager. I think he's done well in jobs that he's had. But when we have these teams like Belgium, I think, I said this before, I haven't quite seen that levelling up from those teams. These are teams that should be winning major competitions. I know not every time, because football, anything can happen. But when you have a team with the players that both Belgium and Portugal have had with Roberto Martinez.
Yeah.
You should be competing regularly and getting to semi-finals and getting to finals, and you should be playing a lot better than they have been.
Absolutely. Miracle, sorry, Robert. For some reason, I'm so used to Miracle. You know, when you come from Africa, these are the kind of...
the Nigerian in me,
you know, the Nigerian in me.
Yeah.
By the way, if you come to Nigeria, most of our names are usually is very biblical in terms of like what's happened to you in life. So, for example, it could be miracle, it could have been prosper, it could have been success.
That's all blessing.
Yeah, there's blessing, there's happiness, there's joy, there's peace, there is
there's confidence. My brother's name.
Yeah, there's confidence. No, for real. There are so many confidences I've actually met, funny enough. And the craziest part of this thing, when you meet people who bear these names, is what's happening to them in their life is the opposite. So the one who's called peace is not even peaceful. The one who has joy has no joy. The one called joy has no joy. The confidence is probably the most shyest person you would ever see in your life. So, but by the way, it's just a Nigerian thing. But yeah, I was going to ask you Miracle. Miracle is actually a miracle, by the way. That's what he explained to me. He's a miracle baby. Miracle, looking at the game between France and Portugal, what would you think was the problem? What would you think it was? Personally, I think he didn't live up to the expectation. He didn't live up to the kind of game I had hoped the game was going to be. But what did you think? What do you think could have been the problem? Was it the coach? Was it the players? Was it just the fact that there was two big teams playing? It
was just two big teams playing. We're all expecting something big because it's Portugal. It's a big stage name. And France, even a bigger stage name. So when... For the first 45 minutes, first half, Portugal was actually dominating, in my opinion. Like, they just couldn't finish.
Absolutely.
I think the keeper was the man of the match, in my opinion, because it was just too good. It was just stop and say left and right. And I'm like, if we could just bring it down just a little bit. If Portugal could squad just one, let me just relax. Because I was in the bus.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, I cannot sleep. I need to see what's going on. And I saw like, Nuno Mendes took a shot and it just stopped, and I'm like, what's going on? Why are they not scoring? Yeah.
By the way, you see, Nuno Mendes is the one guy I feel like at some point we might need to have a conversation about that guy.
Yeah.
He's good. I think he should not. For somebody who plays from the back and everything he does moving forward, literally, it's just unbelievable, man. And it's somebody who, I don't know if I would say the Portuguese team feels like everybody needs to step up as much as he does on a particular game. You would see him trying to do stuff that you would expect a striker or a winger, or especially from that left wing. It's crazy. It's next level, you know.
Miracle, can I ask you, yesterday you said we were talking about Ronaldo and the fact that he should start because he brings on this aura. And yesterday evening, Klinton on his story posted that Ronaldo is the kind of player that should come in on the 86th minute, especially with the way he's playing.
Absolutely.
How do you agree with what you said yesterday after what we saw from Ronaldo?
Yeah, I'm not going to change my mind.
Okay, so you like playing?
Yeah,
okay.
I mean the rest of the players are doing the same. So okay. It's a team game.
I mean, for sure, but they don't play like a team when he's on the pitch right now. I think I really think they play to him so much, and it's actually in the end, Portugal's not in the semifinals. You can say what you want with that, but I genuinely think like they could have. I'm just curious as to why they didn't make a change. It doesn't even Ronaldo hate, but like something's not working on the pitch. Let's make a change.
Let me. You see, this is what I was trying to explain to you guys yesterday. Ronaldo is simply bigger than Portugal, and that is. I mean, this is the vibe that they give me. They give me the vibe that Ronaldo is bigger than the whole country. It's probably bigger than their president, if possible to even say. And you could clearly tell that it's even telling on their football, right? On that pitch, there are like so many people that you could have easily left and took Ronaldo out. But for some reason, they still left. Are you going to say they are living into the end because of penalty? There are so many people who could still take better penalties than current Ronaldo. I mean, you could tell from his penalty that the old Ronaldo, he could send the keeper to one corner of the post and explain it to the other one. But current Ronaldo is that kind of guy that when he plays penalty, you are even scared because there is 100%, or will I say there's a 70% chance that the keeper is going to follow the ball, right? And he will be very lucky if Ronaldo is able to put in the speed that means the ball is going to get to the back of the net before the keeper gets to the direction, right? So having a 39-year-old player on the pitch for 120 minutes, that's as good as inactive in the game. The only thing I see Ronaldo do is to make normal passes that Sara could make even without going on training on the pitch.
We've talked about these big-time players and these players that can come out in these big moments. I think Jude Bellingham in the last game for England against Slovakia, where not playing his best for the majority of the game, but then those big moments come up. But I think there comes a point where you have to realise that if he's consistently not performing, and then when those big moments, you can't wait for those 30-second, snippets of a game to get a goal. Yeah. You have to be a player of that quality, has to at some point produce the goods. And this tournament, he's been far short of it for a player of his quality, who arguably is one of the best to ever play the game.
Yeah.
I think you have to be producing a lot more, and for Portugal, I feel like you said, Sarah, it felt like because they were looking at him, their attack, it kind of felt a bit flat. They were going to him and they're like, oh, that's not working. What do we do now? There didn't seem to be a plan B. There didn't seem to be a fluid change in terms of, well, this is not working. We have to go to someone else. We have to change the game plan. And when you're relying so heavily on someone and it doesn't work, that can be... it's a shocking game plan to follow, and I think Portugal going forward, this could be Ronaldo's last tournament, so they may now have to make that decision. But if they do carry on to play with him, I feel like they have to look at that and maybe make a change.
Yeah, coming.
They're coming.
I mean, Gary, I was going to come to you, in a moment, but something came to my brain just speaking about this whole Portugal and Ronaldo. Sometimes, like I said, speaking about the fact that Ronaldo seems to be bigger than the Portuguese team or even Portugal as a whole, which I would feel like it should be very impossible. But as a coach, I'm seeing Ronaldo isn't very functional on the pitch, and I'm scared of taking him off. I think there are other things they could do if they still want to maintain the fact that Ronaldo is on the pitch. Maybe bring some extra striker. That means that Ronaldo is probably going to be like a decoy. So he's going to probably be the guy who is taking away defenders. Now, he's not going to be the Ronaldo who's going to be looking for the goals. I mean, I've seen it happen with Manchester City. Sometimes you see you have Haaland and you have Alvarez playing at the same time. And because everyone is going to find a way to guide Haaland, knowing that he's the goal machine. We've seen it with Lionel Messi as well. When he's on the pitch, I remember they were playing against Nigeria at some point, and they sent about 3 to 4 defenders to go have Messi, which is very normal because they know he's a magician. He would find every little opportunity to score. But what very intelligent coaches have been able to do is they know that, right, everyone is going to go face this player. How about we find a player who is going to then replace the fact that this other player is being guided by these defenders? And the hypothesis is going to be something with the team. It's going to be like some kind of discussion to say, everyone is going to go on Ronaldo. How about you being the one to do what we expect Ronaldo to do? But do they think about these things? No, they just carry on playing flat. Like, opportunities are not coming. You have a defender actually trying to take... When a defender is trying to be the one to take opportunities, it tells you how bad the people who are up front are becoming. Rafael Leao was pretty much very...
Didn't have a good tournament.
Yeah. I mean, he's not really had the best tournaments. Before the tournament started, I told you guys he was somebody I was looking forward to seeing because I've seen him with AC Milan. And you could tell that this guy, he's talented, right? But why is it not happening in the countryside of things?
That's another added layer of criticism as well for Portugal, because they were playing a France team that... An astonishing fact that they haven't scored a goal from open play and they're in the semi-finals. This is ideally, probably the best time to play this France 11. If you look at the past tournaments, they've been, one of the top teams. For them to not be able to make the most of that and play well and beat a France side that are beatable, I think. I see weaknesses in this France side. I do think Spain will beat them in the semi-final. I feel like Portugal should be criticised more for that, for not making the most of this opportunity to beat a side that are beatable.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
You want to read it?
Yes, because I've just seen somebody speak on our YouTube live. I mean, for our viewers, please, if you're watching via YouTube or any social media platform, please feel free to drop your comments. If you want to bash me, if you want to insult my family, you're happy to. The good thing is my family, they're not listening. So now, somebody have said Ronaldo making normal passes. What is the current Messi? I think the person is trying to say something about Argentina, and you guys should stop hating. This is a live TV show, man. And actually, the one I was even looking at reading was the one that said, Klinton, you said something about the team passing to Ronaldo. Do you watch Messi in Copa America? Argentina players play Messi too. Why is Messi not scoring? Now, this is the one I really wanted to speak about. Now, you see, the one thing people who don't watch Messi play or who don't understand Messi or even the current Messi is the fact that they need to understand that Messi is not the man looking to score goals currently. Messi is just enjoying himself on the pitch. Messi is trying to help a team. He's trying to make people grow. He's trying to find the best passes. He's trying to do the best assists. And you see, most times when I watch games, it's not even about the goal. I don't know, Sarah, if it's just me. There are some goals that the assists are even better than the goal. I don't know if you've seen some things like that before. There are some kind of assists that when it goes through, you're like, let's leave the goal for a moment. Let's talk about how the hell was this person able to think about laying this pass at this particular point in time, the right speed, and is going right to the player that they are trying to look for. How? Now, we've seen him to the likes of Kevin De Bruyne and
Tony Kroos is a
Tony Kroos, thank you. Oh, God bless you, Alex, for the first time. I think for saying that, England should win today, man. Jesus Christ. Now,
is that all it takes?
Are you trying to say I'm very cheap? Stop that, bro. But yeah, Messi right now is not trying to score goals. Like, if Messi can play 2 weeks. If he does not score, I'm happy. But what we are looking for here is the entertainment, which he would give you 100%. And then is the fact that he would lay people off to scoring goals, which is what we are looking for. And this is why I keep coming back to Ronaldo. Ronaldo has gone past the point where he should be the guy looking for goals. No, he's the highest goal scorer alive. He scored everything in life. At this point, there is nothing to prove. Right? If I was Ronaldo, right, I would not even be looking for a way on how to please myself by adding every single goal. It's going to be a way of me getting my team to win. I understand that he shows all the emotions on the pitch, crying here and there. But no, it shouldn't be that. It should be about getting these people who are looking up to him to get them to start performing. He can even do it from the bench. We've seen Ronaldo act like a coach a few times, right? And I'm not going to lie to you, I've been happy with that. That is the kind of passion I want to see from a man who has done everything in football apart from the World Cup, okay? There's nothing else to prove. Push these guys. Don't be the guy that there is nothing to prove.
I think that's a big difference for me between Messi and Ronaldo, especially if you compare Copa America this year to Euros. When Ronaldo's in that team and he's in that attack, it feels like he's impeding and restricting the attack. Whereas Messi, even if he's not involved as much and he's not scoring the goals, I still feel like he's helping and he's still contributing to that attack. Whereas Ronaldo, if it's not working and when Ronaldo's not playing well and he's not involved, that really stuns Portugal in a way, and they seem lackluster, really.
I couldn't agree more. Like I said yesterday, Messi, 4 out of... 1 second, Gary. Messi had 4 goal contributions out of the 6 goals that Argentina had scored, and the 2 that he wasn't contributing to, he wasn't playing because he was injured. I'm so tired of this conversation. Watch the Copa America, guys. I can tell, this is Gary. These are people I can tell. I know in my whole heart they're not watching the Copa America, because if they were, they wouldn't be saying this. And I couldn't agree more with Alex's point. But Gary, talk to me.
I mean, on the Ronaldo, look, the last 3 days, I have been roasted, I have been fried, I have been grilled, I have been sautéed, I have been skewered on my Twitter. Because very uncharacteristically of me, I've been very frustrated with Ronaldo. After the first game, after the second game, I started feeling like, nah, this guy is actively impeding the team's progress, and this was really highlighted in the game where he assisted Bruno Fernandes, and I felt like, okay, this is what he should be doing. And so in the game after that, in the final group game, I mean, I've been going off, and I mean, you know how Team Ronaldo can be, the Ronaldo fanboys can be, they've absolutely grilled me properly, but let's look at the substance of the matter.
I know. They don't.
I'm a Ronaldo fanboy.
But Gary, Gary, please.
I am very frustrated.
You see, let's make the viewers aware of this, because sometimes they feel like these are just Messi fanatics trying to talk down on the 1 or 2, 1.5 Ronaldo, in the studio. Because the truth is, with Alex is 1.5. 1 minute he's for Messi, and that minute he's like, all right, let me just be a British man for once. British British people. But please, for the viewers, Gary, who's all the way live in Accra, Ghana, he's one of the biggest Ronaldo fans. So, and this is what I expect Ronaldo fans to be: the ones who understand football, number one, and the ones who are very, very sincere with what is happening with their goats. Okay. Now, Gary is one of them. So, Gary, please let's continue hearing from you.
Now that the Euros are done, we can now have the benefit of hindsight and ask this question. What exactly has Ronaldo contributed to this team? And yesterday I was saying this on Twitter. When you are a coach and you put out your starting 11 and you show us your starting 11, that is you saying that each member of that starting 11 is going to increase your odds of winning the game. I need to repeat that. Every member is going to give you a certain advantage over your opponent in winning the game. Portugal have played a certain number of games at these Euros. With the benefit of hindsight, I want the guys who wrote the comment at you, Klinton, on the YouTube page to tell us what exactly has Ronaldo brought to the starting 11s of this Portugal team in their last 5 games, where we will say he increased or improved their odds of winning. Nothing. And I mean absolutely nothing. Okay? Why do I say so? And I don't want to say anything without backing it with examples or facts. Ronaldo does not press, or he has not pressed. He has not defended. He has not scored goals. But he has played all games. Every minute, and he's never subbed. So what really has he contributed to this Portugal team? Okay, you have set pieces from positions where we know before he will kick the ball that he will score, but he will kick it anyway. The few chances he has gotten where he has been in good positions, you see, the last major reason why we all made excuses for Cristiano was that he was scoring goals. And that has been his trump card for the last 4 or 5 seasons. He went to Manchester United. Everybody told me that he was impeding Manchester United progress. You know what I always said? What does the stats sheet say? He's scoring goals. He's Manchester United's highest scorer. So keep quiet. And they might keep quiet because evidence is the name of the game.
Facts.
He goes to the Portuguese national team in the European qualifiers. I watched, some of those games. He also impeded because his movement and things was great. But the evidence said what? He was the top scorer. And so, you keep quiet because at the end of the day, the game is about goals. So once he's scoring, no problem. He goes to Saudi Arabia. He's not contributing in terms of defending, in terms of pressing, whatever, but he's scoring goals. And he gave us an incredible amount of goals. And so, we shut up. Now, he is not scoring goals, which is his main trump card. How are we expected to keep making excuses to him because Ronaldo has aura? So, Miracle, that's the question I want to ask you now. You said he has aura. No problem. And I mean, being a sports journalist myself, my bread and butter is interviewing players. What they have told me 1,001 times in cases like Ronaldo is that you put him on because when the opposition players see him in the tunnel, players like him, they shake. Or as one player told me, when you see a certain kind of player in the tunnel, the score is you are already losing 1-0 before the ball is kicked, because you are afraid. Yeah. But right now, you cannot tell me that opposition teams walk into the tunnel and walk onto that pitch looking at Ronaldo and they feel like, I'm afraid, I'm scared. No, that's not happening. So that is how I know. And I may not be here, we may not be here, but guys, trust me on this when I say in a year or 2 or 3 or 4, 1 or 2 players of this Portugal team will be interviewed and they will tell us the truth about how Cristiano impeded their progress in this tournament, because it's absurd. How are you removing Bruno Fernandes in a game? Bruno who is linking, but yes, he's not scoring, and you are keeping Cristiano for 120 minutes. It's so sad that a whole generation of Portuguese players so obviously, could have done something better, have been sacrificed on the altar of Cristiano's ego, and it really hurts my heart.
No,
That's my submission.
No, thank you, Gary. Now, you see, first of all, like I said, I'm happy to hear that it's actually coming from
Yes,
a Ronaldo fan. And this is exactly what I would have expected a lot of Ronaldo fans. This is how I would want them to go make the analysis, think about these kind of things and, just see some level of truth, to themselves. He's not... Yesterday, there were people who could have gone out, especially knowing that you're going into a game that's now going into extra time. I mean, Pepe, who's the oldest player in the Euros currently, was another person I was surprised that was still playing. Like, not that he was playing bad. There were a few mistakes he made, which I cannot blame him for. He's his age. He doesn't have that speed. But, listen, there were so many young players that could have still stayed. And Ronaldo and Pepe, for example, could have, not because, you want to give some kind of insult or whatever to them, but listen, you've done enough. This is your age. How about we let you guys off, bring in people who are younger, fresh, and faster? Why leaving... Listen, yesterday, I would blame the coach for a lot of things. The fact that Portugal didn't go forward. Because when you look at the Portuguese team, Sarah, we've said it, they have enough to win the Euros. If we would be sincere with ourselves. They have what it takes to win it. And you could clearly tell that this is just some coach error here and there, especially with the big teams. I'm sorry, Alex, again, England.
No, savage.
But no, I was saying to somebody yesterday, and this, in fact, I need to wear these glasses to say this one, because I was saying to somebody yesterday, and they were asking me, Klinton, between current Cristiano Ronaldo and Nicholas Jackson, who would you pick to strike for you? Now, I did not even think twice. Right now, I would even pick Nicholas Jackson, in as much as he's probably one of the worst strikers that have graced football in the history of football. And why would you think I would take Nicholas Jackson over Cristiano Ronaldo? It's only because, first of all, like Gary said, there are qualities you would expect, even if you're not scoring the goals. But there are things you still bring to the team. For example, you're pressing, or you're making link-up plays, or you're running behind, or you are defending. All this stuff. At least, the only problem I can tell you Nicholas Jackson has is he cannot score goals. There was an opportunity from yesterday that Ronaldo had. I don't know if anybody saw it. But on a good day, the Ronaldo that we know, I don't know who even, I can't remember who gave him the pass from the right wing. And
the right side.
Yeah, from the right side.
And then he got the ball, and then he skipped it over the bar.
He sent it to his girlfriend in the stand. Like, if you really watch through the stand, you will see her catching the ball. I don't know if they were trying to do some kind of like love stuff with the ball at that point in time. But you could clearly tell that at this point, you need somebody, even if they are not good in scoring. We have to look at the person of Darwin Núñez. He's not the best goal scorer. But when you see his work rate on the pitch, you would know that at least, you're not scoring, but you're not a waste. Do you see it? Which is what I think with Cristiano Ronaldo currently, right? He's not, for me, I've said it before, it's like you're playing against 10 players, right? He said it. Sometimes you want to have the kind of players that when the opponents see them, they are scared. Ronaldo doesn't even give that value right now. If I get into the pitch and I see Ronaldo, I'm playing against him, trust me, I'm not going to be scared of anything. Because I'll be like, this is Ronaldo. Actually, I don't feel like we're playing against. Now, I'll tell them, you need an extra player. I know you're 11, but you need to add one. That's how crazy he is. He's really not doing it. And it's just time to just call it a quit. Maybe Saudi Arabia, listen, that's one of the best decisions he's made in his life by going to Saudi. Because I think Saudi is the league that is a kind of accommodating the level of play that he is currently doing on the pitch. Miracle, tell me, like...
Guys, we have to move along soon, so let's try to wrap this up.
Oh, right, okay.
No, go for it, Miracle.
I have to wrap this up. All I can say, I've been whitewashed with information. That's why I've been quiet like this. That I cannot deny, I cannot just argue blindly about everything that's been said. Ronaldo's tried. That's all I can say for today, because it's there. It's tried. Maybe he didn't try his best, or he just can't try as he used to, but there's nothing else he can do. Like, it's done.
It is done,
Yeah.
because Portugal have exited the Euros, and like Gary said, from the bottom of the summit to the top. Spain and Germany was a very exciting match. Spain knocking out the hosts, which isn't traditional of them. Germany are packing their bags, and your boy Tony Cruz Klinton is on his way to the beach.
Oh. No, you didn't. You didn't have to say it like that, though.
It's on holiday. It's holiday season. It's in Ibiza.
I feel sad that the Germans are going to be watching other team play in their country right now. It's just, I think, and understanding how good the German squad have been. Yesterday was probably their best test so far, right?
Yeah. Both teams.
I'm not gonna lie, it was a very good game. I expected this to go to extra time. As a matter of fact, guys, this is the first time I've made a prediction that went exactly how I said it. Please, no, at least you guys should let them know. Come on, G.
Does that give you 3 points now on the leaderboard?
No, I deserve 6 points because here I predicted the score, that's one, and then I predicted who wins after they go into extra time. And it went exactly the way I said it. See, this is why people need to be listening to me more. It's not any time I'm bashing Ronaldo, that's when they want to come. When I'm giving you this kind of good advice, fam, take it. For those of you who would go put your money somewhere, this is the guy you should be listening to. But no, yesterday it was a very good game. We saw, obviously, the usual. Lamine, the two. How was I calling them yesterday? I said,
I don't want you to remember it. Don't put it back in your brain.
Lamine, Jamal. Lamine, the two opposite.
Yeah. It's Jamal Musiala.
Jamal Musiala.
Lamine Jamal.
Lamine Jamal. Nah, but they were exceptional though. Yesterday, Alex, who was the star of the game to you yesterday?
I mean, I said this yesterday. I think whoever won that game, would go on to win the Euros, and I still do think that. As much as I want to say England can do it, I just really don't see it. But I look at across the whole board really that Spain midfield. They managed the game well. Unfortunately, Pedri had to come off early. That was a bit of a
blatant red card.
Bit
for
of a
Toni
nasty
Kroos.
challenge
No,
there.
that was ridiculous behaviour from Toni Kroos. I expect more of him.
From a German point of view, I was impressed with Kimmich. I feel like he offered a lot to the attack. Going forward, I still feel like they're missing that key piece. And I think Havertz has done brilliantly for Arsenal this season. He's finished the season really strongly and had that goal-scoring form. But coming into this tournament, I feel like they were still lacking that out-and-out goal scorer, and whether they should have started with Nicholas Füllkrug, could it have gone differently? That could have been. We talked about this before. Maybe both of them together. I feel like that was the big downfall for Germany. only scoring in I believe it was the 89th minute when Florian Wirtz equalised. So when you're playing against a team as good as Spain, you have to have that outlet, that someone, whether you can either send the long ball forward to him or a direct pass who can hold the ball up. Nicholas Füllkrug is that player. And I feel like if he'd have started, it could have gone a lot differently for Germany.
Could not agree more. We've talked about Kai Havertz enough on this show, but in the end, the hosts are gone. It's wide open right now. Yep. One thing a message have to say for Luis de la Fuente. If you ever take off Morata, Lamine, and Nico Williams again before potential extra time, we can't be having that. I'm hoping at least this is a lesson, because it got really, really nervy for a minute when we thought this was going to go into extra time, because I'm sure if it did, Germany would have won when you take your best three attacking players off. So let's learn from that. But we will move on, because England are playing today, and Sporty Live will be actually on ahead of this match. That was my apologies off the top of the show. They're in the house, 4 p.m. GMT, 3 p.m. Watt. They'll be coming on before and after the match. SportyTV does have this match. England, Switzerland. Gary, is there a hope for the other Gary?
Be careful here, Gary.
No, don't. Say it with your chest.
So first of all, I would like to, on behalf of all Garys, make it very clear that Gary, and I have taken my time to research this, so this is fact. We do not have any roots. If you look at the roots of Gary, Gareth, we are not the same. We are not in the same family. And Gary and Gareth are two completely different names. And hence, I completely dissociate myself from Gareth. Thank you. Anyway,
I appreciate
now that is out of the way, The only thing I have agreed with him in his pre-match press conference is when he was asked about, the UK have a new prime minister, and he was asked, "Do you have an advice for the new prime minister?" And he said, "Well, considering that I have been in charge of something that is for the English people for a while, I know that he's not going to have a good night's sleep. So all I can tell him to do, all I can tell him to do is to just stick to his convictions and try and put the people first all the time. Because taking my own example, you are doing a job that everybody in the country thinks they know better than you on. So good luck to him. But going to the game, I think that Switzerland should be the opponent that England should fear the most at these Euros. I think that of all the 5 teams, the 4 teams they have met so far, Switzerland being the fifth, of course, they should fear Switzerland the most. Why? One, because they are the most unpredictable quantity they have faced. If they were doing their video analysis of their 4 previous teams, it was quite straightforward. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are very, very clear. You are not quite sure which Switzerland will turn up because, as has been said many, many times, even when I was not on the show and I've listened to you guys' analysis, you pointed it out. Switzerland have built a core team over the last 10 years, and it seems like the team has matured at this exact time. So they have a great mix or a good mix of experienced players and exciting young talent, plus a potentially game-changing bench as well. And yet, they are humble enough to be pliable. They're able to change shape as and when they need to. But more than anything, it's their willingness to play for each other for 90 minutes. Not just that, in playing for each other for 90 minutes, they have players who are good enough, just like England, to change the game with moments of brilliance and quality. So that's what I think will give England a bit of sleepless nights. However, for some reason, and don't ask me how I feel, why I feel that way, or how I know, I feel like this is the day that England 2.0 will show up. I can't think of Gareth Southgate going safe in this game. I mean, surely I'm banking my hopes on the fact that he knows that, he's got to change something in the way the team. I mean, give the people something a bit more exciting for once before, if this happens to be a final game, you go out with a bang or something like that. So yeah, that's how I'm thinking that the game will go. I mean, suspension-wise, England don't have any really serious suspensions, do they? Sorry, forgive me if I'm wrong.
Well, let's talk about that, Gary. Yeah, because Jude Bellingham is allowed to play this evening.
Yeah, I mean, we are going to come to that because obviously Gary mentioned something regarding having something very different, and I want to bring it to Alex quickly. Alex, I mean, we've heard rumours that there's going to be some level of change in formation for England. Do you think this is going to be some kind of effective way of getting England to play the 2.0 that Gary's mentioned so far?
I mean, I hope Gary's right. I feel like, not just me, England fans, pundits, journalists have been calling out for changes so far this tournament. We haven't been at our best. We had 30-odd minutes against Serbia where we played well. Denmark, we were not very good for large majority of the game. Slovenia, we were poor. Slovakia, we had to rely on a moment of magic from Jude Bellingham. And I don't think it was Gareth Southgate's plan to change. We've seen how, he's stuck with his guns and he's gone with these formations that he's been using and the tactics. But listening to sources close to the England camp, we've, obviously without Mark Gahey for this game, he's suspended. So we're looking, I think, at moving to a back 3. So Ezri Konsa, John Stones and Kyle Walker in that 3 centre-back positions. And then the big debate is, do we put Kieran Trippier at the right wing-back position, or do we keep him on the left where he's played, very well? I think he's adapted to it. He's not a left-sided natural player. But the other question is, and what is looking more likely at the moment, is that Bukayo Saka will start at left-back. And this is something that he said he's not a fan of. I don't think it's definitely not his best position. I think he's probably been one of England's more promising players going forward. So to put him at left-back, I feel like stems that and curtails any attacking threat on that right-hand side. But the big thing is, and this is something you've been calling for, Klinton, what most people believe is going to happen tonight is Gareth Southgate's going to move towards 2 number 10s with Phil Foden and Jude Bellingham playing together in that number 10 role, which is, I feel like a positive move, something that we've seen Phil Foden really struggle out on that left to, create opportunities, and he's been isolated along with Harry Kane up top. So hopefully with those 2 number 10s, we can create a better link between whether it be Declan Rice and Kobbie Mainoo or Conor Gallagher. I think it's going to be Kobbie Mainoo. But when we look at that the England performances so far, there's definitely been that lack of a link between the defence, midfield and attack. And hopefully with Phil Foden and Jude Bellingham playing in that role, we can create a stronger link. And I do feel like this is the right decision from Gareth Southgate to make these changes.
Okay, Robert, just speaking about, and please just within 30 seconds, because I'm going to also bring the same question to Gary, so obviously we don't have much time, right? Do you think having having Phil Foden and Harry Kane, 2 10s going on, do you think it's going to get England to be better off in the game?
I mean, it should give them the advantage, just a slight advantage, because as you said before, they have to be careful about the opponents, but having, my main issue is having Bukayo Saka at left back. What's the point of that? Like, as I said before, he's not his natural position. But I mean, he is the football coach. I'm just commenting. So
fair enough.
There is a potential that Luke Shaw might be fit, but then obviously he hasn't played competitive football in 5 months, so that is a big risk putting him in there. So I think the most likely opportunity, or the likely likelihood, will be Saka at left wing back, and then Trippier will start at right wing back.
Fair enough. Gary, sorry, in 30 seconds, or let me probably give you like 25 or 20 seconds. Do you think having 2 10s in England, do you think it's a very good idea, and you think it's going to bring out that 2.0 you mentioned earlier?
Yes. I saved you 22 seconds.
God bless you, my brother. That's what I love to see.
Gary, really quickly as well. Jude Bellingham is available for this match, and there's a lot of controversy regarding...
I don't understand.
Okay,
like,
that's
I really
what I want.
wanted to...
That's what I want.
Yeah, I want to use my 20 seconds for this.
Thank you. Let's use it. Use it. Talk to me.
Gary, you are a good Ghanaian.
I don't understand. Thank you for giving us this graphic so that people can appreciate how absurd it is. I'm not a student of Turkish. I know nothing about Turkish hand signals, but because of this, I had to go and read. And what Mary Demiral did was absolutely not worthy of a 2-match ban. I mean, apparently it's a wolf signal, or it was not insulting or anything. I mean, even the Turkish people, there's nothing wrong with it. Jude Bellingham, for holding his balls and clearly being insulted. I mean, make the attempt to be fair, okay? Even if, give him a 1-match suspension so that we know that, you are trying to make a statement. But you give him a suspended suspension for 1 year, valid for 1 year. What are you talking about? Sometimes these football governing bodies make it too blatant that the power play, and they make it obvious that there are teams and there are teams. You understand? There are big teams and then there's the rest of them. It's not cool. And, well, it's very disappointing from UEFA, because I want to understand the reasoning behind it, because Turkey go into this game feeling that, like, they have been hard done by, feeling like the rule has not been evenly applied across the board. And it doesn't send a good signal to the rest of us, normal countries who are not England and are historic members of the International Football Association board.
Yeah, listen, we have to actually take off soon, so not much to say about that. Yes, there's a very English bias here. Yes, there's controversy on Demiral's hand motions and what it was referring to, but I think both players should be suspended at this point, and if this is the rule, then you have to suspend both. This is English bias. I'm going to be really blunt about it. It's the fact that it's Turkey and it's not England. Really unfortunate here, but Alex Ashmore is happy about his player Bellingham being able to play. Guys, I'm going to go over really quickly our predictions for this match tonight because we are flying through here. While we get that up, Miracle, what's your prediction? England, Switzerland.
England 1-0 for England, even though I hate to admit it.
There you go. All right, I'm going for, actually, Klinton and I are both going for the 1-1 extra time Switzerland to win. Alex Ashmore, a confident 2-0 win for England. Gary with the 3-1. I know Gary didn't do that. We sewered him there. Alex Bagley, 2-0 to England, and the viewers going 3-2 to England. Guys, I screwed up again about the timing for this match later on, so it'll be 4 p.m. WAT, 3 p.m. GMT, Sporty live ahead of the match, and an hour later, Sporty TV will be showing England versus Switzerland, and then Sporty Live back in action to, well, tell us whether it's coming home or it's not. I hope you guys enjoy. Switzerland fans, Alex. It's going to be a long evening for you. Wishing you all the best.
I'm just going to come back tomorrow with another smug face.
Yeah, he has to keep it. We'll be back again for the semi-finals, which kick off Tuesday. Spain taking on France, another big one. But until then, enjoy all the football. Enjoy Sporty TV, and we'll be back again on Tuesday.
Ebwe.